Hey, what's going on, guys? Sunday evening. About to have a sunset here, so I'm going to hurry up before I lose my light. But a little bit of a busy weekend. About 2 weeks from now, as I'm recording this, we're going to have Heroes Con for 2018. Been talking back and forth with some of my friends if we are going to go or not. And then, we talked maybe we'll go one day, just for one day. And then buddy Scott ended up getting hit with work or money hit him or something. Uh, Tim Anderson that I talk about a lot, he ended up he messed up. He ended up asking for the week before for vacation, and then found out later the dates for Heroes Con. Seems like everything's just kind of falling apart. And then it happened about 2 days, 3 days ago. They announced James Robinson is going to be there, and Keith Giffen. Now, if you follow this channel, James Robinson is the guy that wrote Starman and The Golden Age and a few other books that I love. So yeah, I'll be going. Maybe for one day, maybe for 2 days. I don't know, but that seems to be the weekend that a lot is going to be going on. I've been invited to a graduation party. I got one of my friends getting married. I don't think it's on that weekend though, and some other stuff. So I'm like, what is it special about that weekend? So I'm going to show like a really light haul that I did this weekend and a few other things over the last few weeks. And because if I go to Heroes Con and I get, I don't want to get behind and have things stacked up around here and stuff. So basically, I hit a flea market, caught a ride with some friends, hit a flea market in Dublin, Virginia. They have it twice a year. Usually, I find some pretty good comics there. They have some records. It's pretty big, good food that's there and everything like that. And it was just a lot. I actually was just there for like maybe 2 hours. Couldn't sleep. Slept about 3 hours that night. The insomnia has been kicking in the last week and a half. Got up at 6, made breakfast, went and got a cup of coffee, piled up in the car, went on down there, found this. Got this, you know, this is Tommy, the soundtrack. I have quite a Who collection of records. And before this was made into the movie with the soundtrack where they brought in Eric Clapton, Tina Turner, sorts of people there that's in it. Keith Moon singing just some great stuff. But Tommy is, I love my rock operas. To me, the Who started the rock operas. And then, of course, you have like The Wall. And I even count Streets of Fire in there if you go all the way back to the 80s and stuff, right? But found this in immaculate condition. It's a double album. I think it came out in 73 or something. So two albums, all the lyrics and that's in the record holders for you people who've never even seen a record. So the record was like brand new. And Margaret's in this, Oliver Reed. It's the actual songs they sing in the movie. So that's like two records in a month that are like off the bucket list. Okay. Um, and then just a few comics that I got. I got to be careful how I talk about these comics because they're by Garth Ennis. And Garth Ennis does not like superheroes. This was the series The Boys. I think they're making a TV show of it for HBO or somebody. I don't know. But it's been I've read it from the get go when it came out. But with The Boys, Garth Ennis does not like superheroes, right? So basically, I've talked about The Boys before, but this came out through DC, I think, the first 6 issues, and it's all about debauchery and stuff like that. The boys are actually a group of CIA guys, and to get powers in this universe, you can take this blue powder. So they all dress in black. They're CIA guys. There's Mother's Milk, the butcher. A guy looks like Simon Pegg, and then you have the female, who's just a silent, deadly, just monster that'll like skin you alive as you stand there. But they kind of keep the superheroes in check. They work through the CIA, and they're from England and Scotland or something. They're just from all over the place. But basically, this was the second arc after Garth Ennis pulled something in the book so funny and so nasty that DC was like, you know what, man? Here you go, Garth. We love you, man, but the book's all yours. We just can't do it, and no problem. So he took it to Dynamite. And the first story arc that came out from Dynamite was called Get Some. And we'll see how we get through this because I'm going to try to give you the plot. But I think there's a murder, and we're looking for a guy named Swing Wing, and he used to be the sidekick to the Tech Knight. So basically, the Tech Knight is sort of like Garth Ennis took two billionaires. He took Tony Stark and Bruce Wayne, kind of put them together and called them the Tech Knight, to where it's like Iron Man and Batman mixed, but it's heavy on the Batman. And we talk about how Swing Wing and who's Nightwing, but there's been a murder, and I think Nightwing Swing Wing is a suspect. But anyway, but what's going on is that when we meet Tech Knight uh, in this thing, there's something wrong with him. I think it ends up being like a brain tumor thing, but he has this compulsion to stick his bat, little bat boy, if you will, into anything moving. Garth Ennis had him as a member of a team that was like the Justice League and the Avengers kind of merged together. And as Tech Knight and all the heroes were flying, he looks down at the android, who's like the Vision and Red Tornado mix, and he ends up like accidentally raping him. Like, what am I doing? The butler ends up quitting because he sticks it in his ear, and then like he sends his second swing wing, or whatever, his second sidekick that replaced the original. He sends him on a big country road trip, like go out and see the world, and puts him on a motorcycle, and he's like, just go. And as soon as the guy's gone, he's like, oh no. And it ends up saving the world. Thanks to having this compulsion to just stick it where, he can't lick it. He saves the world. So we got apparently there was a catastrophe because I think the story ran through 7 through 10, and number 7 wasn't in the pack when I got home. These are early issues. Okay. But what was really funny, what really hooked me on this story is that, we kind of see why Batman and Robin really split up, and it involved a character named Talon that's like, Catwoman. Something really messed up kind of happened. Even when I was reading, I was like, don't look him in the eye. And of course, he looks him in the eye, and I'm like, oh no. So I can't tell you what happened because, I got to keep this moving here. All right, so what we got here? So this ends up, I heard in the next Wonder Woman movie that the cheetah is going to pop up. And this is a book from 1987, Wonder Woman number 7. It's considered a bit of a key. This is now my 5th one, 3 newsstand editions. 2 of them are direct market, as you can tell by the lack of UPC symbol, Who Watches the Watchmen. And this is a key because it's the first appearance of Barbara Minerva, or whatever her name is. So there's been some speculation since the Wonder Woman movie ended last year that the next villainess was going to be Cheetah, and there's been some things sprinkled out there to make us wonder, and everybody wants to go for the more modern age appearance of her from the 80s instead of going back to the golden age. Continuing on, I think I now need maybe 2. I'm going to dig them out here a little bit. I'm going to be cleaning this room and organizing a little bit, pulling some stuff out for Heroes Con if I go. But the 25th anniversary of Marvel, of course, had the superhero borders. I think there was like 26 books that came out that month that all got the border treatment. And this is Spider-Ham, Peter Porker, the spectacular Spider-Ham. This is his. For some reason, the Star Comics of those are hard to find. And then this is a double, but I got the 2-part Buckaroo Banzai movie adaptation through Marvel. I know this is probably like a Marvel Spectacular. What they would do is when they did a movie adaptation, they would come out in Marvel Spectacular, a magazine they had, then they would split it in 2. So you get a 2-issue miniseries. I have the Dark Crystal like that. I have Blade Runner like that. And what's strange is somebody, I don't know if they were on Twitter, if they did a video talking about it, but the Marvel special spectacular, whatever it was called, for Blade Runner actually had a Jim Steranko cover, and it was magazine size. I bet it was Jared Osborne talking about it, probably on Twitter or something like that. But it was also regular size, like a comic, instead of magazine size. And collectors who are into that stuff more or less want the 2 comic books instead of the original magazine. Go figure, So moving right along. I found this on eBay for like $5, but what is it? 132 cards. There's no stickers in here. But this is the second set of cards that came out for Tim Burton's Batman movie from 1989. And I do collect these old movie cards and stuff, movie trading cards. This one is from Topps. This is before they put a glossy finish on them, and they were still sort of cardboard and stuff. But for $5 and no shipping, that was a dream come true. I'll eventually get the first set. The first set has about 131 cards in it. I don't have any stickers, but that first set is kind of a little pricey when I run across it. Moving right along, a little print that I got here. Okay, this print here that I got, see if I can get the glare off of it. Okay, yeah, this print here that I got, $3. $3. They just announced a Queen movie coming out, Bohemian Rhapsody, the story of Freddie Mercury and Queen, the rest of them. And I want all of my friends to come with me to the theater so we can fill it up. And when we get to 1985, where they're at Live Aid, we can all clap our hands like Radio Gaga during the movie. I want that whole theater with nothing but hands up in the air clapping. But this was $3 for this print. Bit of a movie, so I'm going to figure out framing it. I might actually make a frame for it myself and hang it up. But, you know, the freaking icon, Freddie Mercury, grew up with Queen. They were just everywhere. I didn't set out to be a Queen fan. Queen found me. Um, where did it go? I have a Green Lantern book over there. Don't worry about it. It's the Ollie's had a few more hardbacks, and for like $3, no, for $1.50. They could not get this book to scan. So the girl, we started getting a line at the checkout, and it was a hardback for something like $3.99 of Green Lantern from the DC 52s, the first story arc where after Jeff Johns had left. It's not very good. So since we couldn't get it to scan, and the girl had a line format behind me, she couldn't have cared less. She turned around, picked up the first thing she had behind her, and it ended up being a pack of M&Ms. And the M&Ms were on sale for $1.50, so I got a hardback for $1.50. Here's my knock. And the last thing I want to show you, so I can start putting this stuff up, and I'm sure there's other things around here. But I stopped at a yard. We stopped at a yard sale on the way back after that flea market I was telling you about. And just for some shits and giggles, I ended up getting this Trivia Pursuit with a DVD in it to help you see commercials and things, you know, pop culture. So after you watch this channel, I've got Star Wars trivia in there. I got trivia of the 80s, and now we have this straight out pop culture. So this should be kind of cool. The trivia game of TV, movies, music, and more. It's like brand new. The yard sale, they had a couple of games there, but I really have a feeling they only played this twice, because when I got in there, there were still things still bagged and stuff, right? So apparently it's separated by decade, I think, in here, because you have, you know, the 60s peace symbol as some, you know, as a piece to move around the board. You have platform shoes. I'm going to assume this is the 80s with the gnome. I have no idea. I mean, right off the bat, you know, I'm sitting here like, what? Maybe there was I know there's a Nickelodeon show for kids, or maybe PBS, of Gary the Gnome or something. You have the vinyl records, which makes me think of the 50s. And of course, you can kind of see what we're looking at here. Now, if there's sports in this, I'm screwed. If you ever, I'm not going to put it out there so I don't get embarrassed, but if you ever play Trivia Pursuit with me, all you have to do is go to sports and it's over. I'm gone. I'm done. Okay, guys, that's it. Enjoy your summer. Hopefully, we'll be going to Heroes Con. I'll try to shoot a video or two in between that. And in the comments, you know, sub, like, subscribe, all that good stuff, share. But if there's a topic you want me to bring up or a book you want me to review, go ahead and do it, because I'm going to be so busy. Work has me going out of town for 2 days. I got another trip coming up that's going to put me in Northern Virginia. I'm not sure when that's going to happen. And so if I get home to shoot a video, or if I'm on the road to shoot a video, having some ideas would help. So throw it out there if you want me to do something. Thanks a lot, guys. Be excellent to each other. Later.